I did end up getting 6 months for carrying an unlicensed weapon. But things turned
But
out how I was hoping.
I need to get the phone.
Mark didn't do as well. But
I
he
need to
learned a
take
valuable lesson too.
the
They fucking insane quick.
Not they be fucking insane quick. Hey, babies.
Charlotte visited me every day.
Charlotte visit me every
I
day.
thought prison would be the place I'd learn to love again. But that's what happened.
Hey, everybody. How she's not done?
I helped the FBI find and return all the assets Martin stole. In
Hey,
return,
everybody. I'm trying to get y'all
I
time to get
had
in.
just where to invest my money.
I got a fan story. I got a fan. I was supposed to tell y'all last night, but like I said, I'm on TikTok punishment, so I got y'all fan story. I got y'all fan story. That's a good question, Misty. I have no idea. I guess YouTube got people that stay on top of it. I don't know. Hey, baby. I'm feeling good, Danielle. How you feeling today?
His ears are so cute. That's what makes it so hard to not get him.
Yeah, leave him alone. Yes, 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 this fan story. Y'all know I'm on TikTok punishment, so I can't post over there. Watermelon. Girl, I stay on watermelon. Like one of my favorite fruits. Watermelon, oranges and stuff.
Get up.
Huh?
I said, get up.
Yeah, I'm turning down. I got you, baby. Yes, I have a fan story that I was gonna tell y'all last night. This lady went through it. Like all in one day, she went through it. I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, whoa. Somebody had it out for your ass. Hey, Annette. Go give him a piece. He know what that is. He know when I eat watermelon. He be on that shit. Yes, you are finally catching the story live.
Sit. Sit.
You know that hit watermelon. So I stopped. Yes, you might want to get all that together right now. I was eating some watermelon. And you know, bam, he like watermelon too. So I give him a couple pieces every now and again. No, you're not late for the story. I was trying to give everybody time to get in before I started the story. And it probably gonna be that many of y'all because a lot of people don't really subscribe. Okay. I ride with you. I'm right here with you, Lakeisha. Okay. Cause I want some. I want some. Tell you. Zai, if you don't stop. Yep, so I'm giving y'all time to get your chips, your tea, your cookies, everything you gonna need. Your gas, your ass, you know how I go. You got 2 minutes to get that because I'm gonna start at 7:10 and I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all this fan story. They know what I'm talking about. Because I got a good one tonight. Okay. Everybody got everything? Come on in, because I'm finna start in like 2 minutes. Oh, that's y'all saying? Of course. You ain't got no toilet paper? Oh man, open it. Mm-hmm. Hi, baby, Lisa. Is it hot? 1 minute. Better get what you need. Got 1 minute. Better get what you need. I'm saying something wrong. Yes, you ain't right on time. Not the news is heavy. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Everybody ready? If you ready, like the live. Yes, I need some of that. I need to see y'all ready. I need to see y'all ready. And they're cleaning the kitchen, so I'm good to go. Okay, Misty? I need to see y'all ready. Ready, ready. I hope some of y'all got like a dark area where y'all at. Y'all know how we try to do them scary stories, but cause mine ain't dark at all, as you can see. Okay. So, okay. No, you didn't sleep through it. I'm on TikTok punishment, so I can't post or go live. So I'm on TikTok punishment for like a week, I think. But yeah, go ahead and start this story for y'all. Y'all know all the stories that I tell y'all. These fan stories be Lake Lanier stories. So here we go. Excuse me. Okay. So this story takes place at Lake Lanier. There are 3 people involved. There's April, April's husband, and April's husband's niece, Shan. It's not April's niece. It's April's husband's niece, Shan. So April, her husband, and her husband's niece. Damn. Ew. Acid and watermelon don't taste good together. Ugh. Okay. So April and her husband niece, Shan, went to Lake Lanier for a job event. Um, April 7th, they got the flyer. It was like it's gonna be food, fun, games, and prizes. So she thought, it would be nice to invite Shan to go out there with them, which was his 14-year-old niece. April is newly married into the family a year. So she felt like this would be a time for her to be able to bond with the niece because her husband seemed pretty close with his niece. So she wanted to be close to the niece too. So she thought it would be an awesome idea to invite Shan out there. Shan agrees to go, and they go out there. It's early in the morning. They get out there about 11 o'clock, and April decides to take Shan to the water park area first. She's like, let's go over here, play at the water park, we'll have some fun. Cool. So when they get in the water park, they get rafts to get in the wave pool. If you've been in the wave pool, you know how this shit go. So when they get into the wave pool, of course, April like kind of swims towards the front where the big waves come out first and it's real fucking deep. She swims to that area and she's waiting on the wave to come out, and she looks back and she noticed that Shan didn't swim that far out. Shan is like in the shallow part, but she's still in her raft. You know what I'm saying? And the wave, when they came into the water, the waves was coming, so they kind of got separated. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So Shan is like the at the back, at the shallow end of the wave pool, and April's at the front where the big ass waves come out. So she said she was at the front in her raft, and she was about to swim back where Shan was because she didn't want to be up there by herself, and she seen a lady in a raft with her baby. Now April thought to herself, this is really fucking dangerous to have this baby in this fucking raft, because if you flip the fuck over, you and that baby going into the water. So she was thinking, that shit was really dangerous, but it wasn't her business. So she didn't say nothing. She said she turned around to get ready to swim back. She had to get out of her raft to swim back towards where Shan was. She said when she got out of her raft to get back to swim where Shan was, she heard thunder. Now, if you've been at Lake Lanier Water Park, you know when you hear the thunder, fucking waves are about to start. This shit is gonna get heavy. So she hears the thunder, she hurry ups and she jumps into her raft and she turns around to try to tell the lady, you know, the waves are coming. And she said before she could say anything, she was slapped in the face with a wave. Boom. Knocked her ass out of her raft. She said as she was going down under the water, she could see this lady and her baby sinking to the bottom of the goddamn wave pool. So she couldn't like swim to them because she was caught off guard. You know, the wave hit her out of nowhere, so she didn't have time to hold her breath or anything. The shit just hit her, so she didn't have enough breath to like swim down to, you know, get the lady or the baby. So she kept trying to come up, but the waves kept coming. So every time she came up, she'd get hit with another wave. She'll get hit with another wave, and she almost drowned her damn self trying to get up out of this area. So when the waves, you know, she gets up that last time, the waves have stopped. She's able to come up, get breath, and then she goes back down to try to get this lady and her baby, and there's nobody there. There's no lady, no baby. So she hurries up and swims back up. She looks around to see if somebody's dragging these people out, if the lifeguards are in the water. Lifeguards are still sitting on their post. All the kids are still in the water, playing, laughing, screaming. Nobody's being drugged out, nothing. She don't see this lady or her baby. She don't see nobody in a panic. She's confused. Like, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute. She goes under the water again to look. She don't see anybody under the water. So she comes back up. She swims over where Shan is, and she goes out and asks the lifeguard that sits at the closest to the waves. Like, there's a lifeguard that sits right there. So when the waves come out, they kind of like warn your ass to get back because the waves are big as shit, and that shit will either pull your ass under or fling your ass somewhere. So there's a lifeguard that sits right there, and she says she went over to the lifeguard and asked the lifeguard, "Did you see that lady and that baby that was in the water next to me?" And the lifeguard was like, "No, I saw your ass, and I blew my whistle at you several times to let you know to get your ass back because you was too close, but it's like you didn't hear me." April's like, "What? So you didn't see a lady and a baby in the raft right next to me down here?" And the lifeguard was like, "No." Oh my goodness, you're a mess. Thank you, love. So the lifeguard's like, "No, I'm sorry. I only seen you. I blew my fucking whistle. Your ass didn't move. I thought you was about to fucking drown. Like I was about to come in and get you, but your ass came up. But you were the only one I seen down here because we don't really allow people that close to the waves. You were the only person that I seen down here. I didn't see no lady, and I definitely didn't see a lady with a baby down here." So April shook. April like, okay. So she go back to Shan, and she like, "Hey, Shan, so you remember when I was down there and I was about to come back to you, did you see anybody else down there with me?" And Shan was like, "No, I just saw you." So April shook. April like, "You sure you didn't see a lady down there with a baby next to me?" And okay. And Shannon's like, "No, I just saw you." So April's like, "Okay. Whatever." Okay, so she tells Shan, "Let's go to the bathroom and then we gonna go find your uncle." So Shan's like, "Okay, cool." They walk over to the bathroom. When they get to the bathroom, Shan said, "I don't have to use the bathroom. I'll just wait on you to come out." Okay, fine. April goes in by herself. She goes in, the normal hustle and bustle of a fucking water park bathroom. Women everywhere, talking loud, laughing, all kind of stuff, babies, all that shit. She hears all this shit going on. She goes in, there's a line of 3 women in front of her. So she stands there and she waits. By the time it get down to just her and the woman in front of her, April's about to piss on herself. Like, she's been holding this shit for a while. She's about to piss on herself. And as she's thinking to herself, "Oh my God, if they don't fucking hurry up, I'm gonna flood this fucking bathroom," the lady in front of her turns around and says, "You can go ahead of me." April didn't ask no questions. April just like, "Bitch, thank you. Oh my God." And she runs to the stall. She gets in the stall, pull her clothes down, get ready to use the bathroom. She starts to pee. And all of a sudden, the bathroom goes completely silent. And all she can hear is a woman humming the tune to Rockabye Baby. That's all she can hear. No more hustle and bustle of the women. No more children running through the bathroom. None of that shit. All that shit went to a complete silence. And all she heard was this woman humming Rockabye Baby. And she said that shit was coming closer and closer to the stall that she was in. So, you know, she kind of started to get creeped out because she like, where the fuck did all these people go at one time? You know, she's creeped the fuck out. So she's sitting on the toilet, you know, afraid, but she hears this shit getting closer to her. So the voice gets closer and closer, and then it gets right there in front of the stall where she is, pushes in the motherfucking door, screams at her, "Where's my baby?" April screams her fucking head off, and the lady jumped back out the door, and the door closes. So April's freaking the fuck out. She hurry up and pull her pants up so she can go out and like check whoever the fuck just did this shit. So she pulled her clothes up and she opened that door to go out. Everybody in the bathroom is staring at her. It is like 50 women, kids, all these motherfuckers is like, are you okay? Everybody's just staring at her ass. And she like, who did it? Who did it? Who where's the lady? Who did it? And everybody's like, did what? Like, the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like moms are standing there with their kids, ears covered, like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Who did it? So one of the ladies like, what are you talking about? And she's like, who was the lady that just pushed in the stall I was in? And they were like, ma'am, nobody pushed in the stall. A whole line of like 4 other women are standing here waiting, you know what I'm saying, to use the bathroom. Nobody pushed in the stall, so we don't understand. And she's like, somebody pushed the fucking stall in. Who pushed in the fucking stall? And the lady was like, we were in here, we heard you scream, we turned around, looked back, and your ass was jumping out of there. We didn't see anybody go into the stall. So she get pissed off, and she storms out of the bathroom through the crowd, and she goes to Shan again. Like, Shan, did you see a lady come out, red hair, this color shirt, this color pants? At this point, Shan is thinking this bitch is a bounty hunter. Like, this bitch done asked me where everybody in the fucking world at by this point. Like, this bitch work for the police. Why the hell she keep asking me where all these folk at? Did we come to Lake Lanier to catch a bounty? Like, why the fuck is you asking me where all these people at? I don't know these folk. I don't even know why the fuck you keep asking me where these people are. But no, I have not seen anybody. April shook. April like, this is bullshit. Like, nobody in the fucking room claim they ain't see her. I'm losing my goddamn mind. So she gets upset, but she go ahead and walk on over to find her husband at the picnic area where they barbecuing and shit. So she gets over there. She see him eating. She get her plate, get Shan a plate. They sit down and eat. She telling her husband everything that she done seen since she been at the fucking lake. The mysterious ass lady and baby drowning that nobody seen. And then the mysterious bitch that kicked in the stall and chin checked her ass pretty much. Nobody seen, you know what I'm saying? And her husband is like, keep that shit down, because women that were in the bathroom is also at this job event, and word done already spread it, and this bitch is Looney Tunes. And she done cussed everybody out in the bathroom. So he like, keep your voice down. She's like, what? I'm telling you what happened to me, and you act like you don't believe me. Him and Shan both are looking at her like, this bitch is nuts. So she gets mad. She gets up and she storms off. Go sit on the beach. She's sitting there trying to process that shit. She mad and she trying to process it. She can't figure out how the fuck did all these people not see these people? How the hell did Shan not see the woman and she had to come out the bathroom past her? How the fuck did all these women in the bathroom didn't see this bitch kick the door in on me? Like, she just sitting there processing that shit on the beach all by her lonesome. I ain't gonna say she was out there by herself, but she didn't know nobody else on the beach. It was just her. She got mad at her husband and just walked the fuck off. And now she just sitting on the beach pissed off. So she's sitting there all mad, and she looks up and she see this woman and this baby that she saw in the wave pool. They are now in the lake in the same raft. So she see this woman, and she's like, this the bitch up the... So she jumps up, and she runs into the lake to try to get this woman attention because she clearly seen this woman drown in her head. And she like, I just want to ask the bitch. She was telling me she just wanted to ask the lady if her and the baby was okay because she saw them go under and all this shit. So she runs out there into the water, and she had to swim. Like it wasn't a part where she could just walk, you know what I'm saying, up to them and say something. She had to swim out to where they were. So this lady and her baby is still on this raft in this lake, probably in the deep fucking part of the lake. And she jumps into the water and she swims out there to where they are. And she said when she gets within arm reach of the lady, like the lady had her back turned in this raft, she was sitting in the raft and had her back turned, the baby on her. And April said by the time she reached out to touch the lady's shoulder, something tugged on her leg and pulled her down. She said when they let her go, she pops back up. There's no lady. There's no baby. There's no raft. None of that shit. She's just out there by her fucking self. She can hear her husband calling for her while she's in this water, facing the direction of where the fuck did this lady go. Like, did they get pulled under? So she's thinking, oh my God, whatever the fuck pulled me must have pulled them. So she goes under on her own to look for this lady and her baby. She has her arms extended, reaching out in front of her, and she feels something grab her arm and begin to pull her ass. So now she's pulled by her wrist, but she says she is trying to get this shit off of her. Whatever had her fucking arm, she was trying to get the shit off of her. She said that shit finally let her go. She did 2 strokes and she felt hands on her back. And when she looked up, her husband was in the water and he was trying to help her out. She didn't understand what the fuck was going on. She didn't understand how she got back to the beach because she swam out to this lady. So whatever the fuck grabbed her, pulled her back towards the beach. And I guess she was able to peel that shit off her arm at that point. So her husband helped her out of the water. She's sitting down on the beach. Everybody like standing around concerned. All these other beach goers that don't know her, people from his job, everybody is standing around so concerned. Is she okay? Do she need an ambulance? Just asking all these questions because they're so worried about her. And she, sitting there, she's coughing, but she's okay. You know what I'm saying? They like, what the fuck were you thinking? And she was like, what do you mean? I tried to get the lady's attention, and everybody like, what fucking lady? At this point, her husband pissed off. He like, you've been speaking about these goddamn ladies all day. What lady? She was like, it was a lady with a baby in a raft in the water. Y'all didn't see that shit? And she looks around, and all these folks that's surrounding her just like, no. Didn't see shit. Like, so you think I just ran out there for nothing? And everybody was like, that's pretty fucking much what it looked like. It looked like your ass got stung by a bee or some shit because you jumped straight up off this fucking sand and you sprinted it into that water to nothing. There was nothing out there. There was nobody out there. Like, everybody was just looking at her like, we didn't even understand why the fuck you went out there. And she's like, there was a lady and a baby on a raft in the lake. And none of y'all saw this shit. Everybody's like, no, we haven't saw anything. So she's getting pissed off. She's getting hella mad because she like, everybody I done talked to today about these vanishing bitches, nobody has seen these motherfuckers. Like, I'm just losing my goddamn mind, which is so embarrassing right now because I have my husband's niece with us. So I know this bitch is probably thinking, hey, Amber, this bitch is probably thinking I'm fucking bananas at this point. Like, my uncle married a fucking, she just got all these, yeah, you're late, but you should be able to catch my live. It'll be posted on my YouTube page, so you'll be able to watch it. So, she's thinking to herself, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But she is totally convinced that that lady was out there and her baby was out there. But Shannon, the uncle, is just, she's embarrassed him in front of his fucking job, people at his job. He's just pissed the fuck off. She's pissed off because he didn't believe her. Shannon is just like, take me home. Hey, baby. Shan is just like, take me home. I don't want to be a part of this shit no more. Like I just want to go home. So they, pack up whatever the fuck they brought out there. She apologized to everybody at his job. But she deep down believes she knows she saw this woman. But to save face for her husband and his position at his job, she apologized to everybody, told him she didn't eat this morning. It was a little hot outside. She may be a little dehydrated. It could have been whatever. So, people at the job was like, oh, we understand, it is really hot out here. We can understand. So, but her husband was still pissed off. Right. They should have, but, everybody said she just jumped the fuck up and started running. So, her husband, he was upset. They took Shan, dropped Shan back off at home. Shan didn't even say bye to April. She went and gave her uncle a hug and a kiss, and she ran on in the house. April thinking to herself, oh, the whole family finna know about this shit. So, they get home. And, they're not talking to each other because both of them are upset with each other. And Shan, April was in her room, just watching TV, mad. And her husband come in. And he's like, are you okay? She's like, no. You made me look stupid. You made me look like I was losing my fucking mind. And you wouldn't even believe me. Like, what I saw is what I really fucking saw. And her husband was trying to explain how he's so sorry, that was his job function. And she was like, fuck the bullshit. You my husband, you should have had my back. He apologized and he apologized. And then she stayed mad at him. He went to work the next day. He already knew his wife was going to be the gossip of the fucking job. And she was. So when he got there, everybody was talking about the shit. He didn't want to talk to nobody about it. He kept trying to avoid the shit. And then he had this one coworker that came up to him and said, I heard your wife had some strange things that happened out there in her Lake Lanier. And he was like, man, call her what you want. She was just hot, dehydrated. She hadn't ate that morning. There was just a lot going on with her. But she's okay now. And the guy was like, so what did she say? What was going on? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. We're at work and I don't want to talk about it. And the dude was like adamant about the shit. And he was like, no, I need to know. Like, you need to tell me. And he still was just like, I'll talk to you later about it. We're at work or whatever. And he walked away from the dude. But the dude kept showing up. I'm talking about like every fucking 5-10 minutes, the man was showing up. What happened? What happened? What happened? Finally, the dude catch him when he got about to leave work. The dude catch him outside. He was linked up against his truck, waiting on him to come out the damn job. Like, so the dude come out, and he's sitting up against the truck. And he said, you gonna tell me what happened now? Now you gonna tell me what happened at Lake Lanier? He was like, I know you done heard the stories. He was like, fuck the stories. I don't want to hear the rumors of the job. I want to hear the truth. I want to hear from your mouth what the fuck happened. So the guy was like, you gonna think I'm crazy? You gonna think my wife is crazy? I don't want you judging us. I don't want the job judging. The guy was like, fuck all that. I just need to know what she saw, what happened. So, her husband opened up his truck. He sat down and he started telling the man everything that his wife said, had happened to her while she was out there. And the guy was like, And she saw a woman. And he was like, yeah, she saw a woman. And her hair, described her hair and what she had on that day. And, you know what I'm saying? And everything. And the dude was like, was she sure though? Was she sure this woman had a baby? And he was like, yes, she kept freaking the fuck out about it. I'm positive she kept saying it was a woman and a baby in a goddamn raft that she had been chasing down there the whole day. Just kept fucking with her and nobody else saw it. And then the dude was like he just kept asking, like, are you sure? By this point, April's husband feel like, okay, this motherfucker playing. He just want to make jokes out of this shit. He ain't serious. He just want to make jokes. And he told the dude, like, you know what? Fuck it, don't worry about it. And he got in his truck and he closed his door. And the dude was like, no, 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 it's not like that. And her husband rolled the window up. And the dude was like, no, 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 it's not like that. It's not like that. And right before her husband got ready to pull off, this man slaps a picture on his window. And it stuck a picture of a woman and a young baby. A woman holding a baby just like this in hospital. It's one of a professional picture. It's like one of them hospital pictures, you know, you take with your own little fucking Polaroid. And she was holding the baby just like this. And he stuck it to the man on the side of his window, on April's husband's window. And he yelled at him. He was like, ask her if this was her. And her husband rolled the window down. And he like, who is this? He like, just ask her if this who she saw. And he like, you fucking with me? He like, no. Like the man, he said, the man pretty much had tears in his eyes. He's like, no, I'm not fucking with you. I'm so serious. Like, can you please just ask her, is this the person she saw? Fine. I need to go. As long as that'll get you away from a truck, I'll do whatever. Get here, take the picture. He took the picture and he goes home. And him and April's at home. They eat dinner and they watch TV. And right before they get ready to go to bed, he asked April to describe the woman that she seen. Now, April thinking he on some bullshit because he didn't believe me when I said this shit the first fucking time. And now he want to make jokes by asking me what this lady looked like. So she was like, are you playing? He like, no, I'm serious. I want to know. Just tell me again. And she like, look, I don't want to argue. He like, I'm not trying to do all of that. I just want to know. Can you just please describe her for me again? April, sit down. She tell him everything that happened again that day. She described the woman to a T for him. He asked her, are you sure the woman had red hair? She was like, I am sure. Why do you keep asking me that? He pulls the picture out and he hands it to April. And he said, is this the woman that you saw? April looks at the picture. Her mouth drops. What the who is, where did you get? She had a million questions. Where the fuck did this picture come from? How do you know this woman? How do you know this is the woman that I saw? Like, you said I was fucking tripping. Like, who the fuck? Like, she was so fucking confused. And while she was doing all this shit, her husband is just sitting down in the chair like. So, you know, he like, calm down. He sit her down and she like, okay, so who is this? He like, I don't know who it is. Where the fuck did you get this picture from of this lady and this baby? And he was like, a guy at work gave me the picture and told me to ask you if that's the lady that you saw and the baby that you saw. And April was just like, oh, that's her. Like, this is her and the baby. This is them. And she was like adamant about that shit. She was telling her husband, like, she was crying. She was like, I told you I saw this fucking woman. Like, she was so adamant about that shit. And it's like, her husband was like, you know, okay, well, I'll just go back to work, let him know that's who she saw. Everything should be good. He still wasn't on the train, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, well, she, you know, he still went on the train with that shit. So he gets back to work, and his coworker is standing in the goddamn parking lot waiting on him to get to work. So as he's pulling up to work, this coworker like runs up to his window and knock as if he didn't see his ass standing in his parking space. So he runs up and knock. He's like, what did she say? What did she say? So April's husband, you know, turns the car off and get all his stuff. And the dude instead of hollering at the window, what did she say? What did she say? Taking his own sweet time, he opened up the door and he get a dude back the picture. And he was like, what did she say? He was like, yeah. She said that's who it is. Who is that? Your sister? Your wife? He was like, that's my wife and my daughter. And he was like, well, I thought my wife was tripping when she said she saw them. Did they come to the picnic? And the dude was like, no, they didn't come to the picnic. He was like, so, well, how the fuck would my wife see them? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did my wife see them if they didn't get invited to the picnic when they came out there with other family? And the dude was like, no, she didn't come with no other family. And, you know, April's husband like, well, how the fuck did she get there? Like, who invited her? And the dude looked him in his eyes and he said, my wife died 2 years ago in Lake Lanier with our baby. She went up there for a party with my niece. His niece, the coworker's niece, had like a party. She was gonna, like her big birthday party up there or whatever. And the his wife and his daughter went to the party, and she ended up drowning, and the baby did too. He never told anybody at the job. You know, just for the folk that knew him and knew her was the only one that really knew about it. Never told anybody else at the job. Nothing. Nobody at the job knew shit. So he like, she dead. Yeah. He said, come on, bro, you shitting me. I said, no, I'm not. He said, they're dead. So he like, so how did my wife see him? And dude, like, that's the question. How did she see him? Is it okay if I come over to your house and talk to your wife? No, I don't do that. I don't bring people from my job to my house. You know, it's a protection with my family time. Well, we can meet out. We can go out to eat. I just want to talk to her. So he was like, fine.
YouTube do you wrong. When they get the notification for your live, right? You know what they see?
So he was like, it doesn't matter. I don't have to come to your house. We can just go out to eat. I just want to talk to her. So, you know, April's husband calls April, asks her, would it be okay? April felt kind of weird about the shit because she's like, I don't even really know the dude. Like, why the fuck would he want to see me? I don't know. So that's when her husband was like, you know, the woman that you said you saw out at Lake Lanier in the picture I showed you last night, it's her husband. And she was like, oh, so he's gonna bring his wife and daughter so I can finally get a chance. Nothing. It's just depends on how I move. It'll go different, I guess. But see, it depends on how I move. But she's like, thank you. So she's like, he's gonna bring his wife and daughter. I finally get a chance to talk to them and ask them what happened that day. And he's like, no, he's not bringing them. And she's like, why not? I mean, if we're going out, why wouldn't he bring them? And he was like, I'll talk about it later, but we're gonna go out with them. She was like, I don't think I should go because there's no woman there. Why should I go? And he was like, I just need you to do this with me. So she goes out there. She goes out to eat with him and the coworker. And the coworker is just like staring at her when they get there. He's just like, and she's like, you know, she was like, so what's this all about? And he was like, so you're the one. She's like, I'm the one that what? And he was like, you're the one that said you saw my wife at Lake Lanier, my wife and my daughter. And she was like, oh yes, they, you know, they were very, very beautiful. Your daughter's very beautiful. You know, why aren't they here tonight? And he was like, well, your husband didn't tell you? And she was like, no, he didn't tell me anything. Like, what happened? And he was like, my wife and daughter is dead. And April was like, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? Like they died? Like since I've seen them, they died? And you know, he was like, no, they died 2 years ago. April couldn't believe it. Like she was speechless. She was just staring at this man. And then she looked at her husband like, is this some type of sick fucking joke? And he's like, no. The man has other pictures besides the one you seen. And he started pulling pictures out and he was like, see, and here's a picture, and here's a picture. And she was just like looking at these pictures like, oh my fucking God, that lady died 2 years ago, are you serious? He was like, yeah, she died at Lake Lanier 2 years ago. And April was just in shock. And he was like, you sure this is the woman you saw? And he was like, she was like, yes, I'm sure. He was like, what color bathing suit did she have on? And she said she had on this pretty polka dot bathing suit. She said it tied around the neck. It was white, but it had black polka dots. She said it was tied around the neck and around the back, and it had like a little covering over the belly part that connected to the panty part. And the man just looked at her like he dropped his fork. He just looked at April like, and started crying, like tears started falling as he stared at her. And she looked at her husband like, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? And the guy pulled the last picture that he had out of his pocket, which was a picture of his wife standing at Lake Lanier Beach, hands like this with a hat on her head and the same fucking bathing suit. She had never seen that picture. But she described that woman bathing suit to a T. And he knew then, that lady was, he knew April was not lying. He started crying. He just was like, oh my goodness. He started, you know what I'm saying, like thinking the worst. Her soul is trapped. You know, my baby's soul is trapped. Like what, he just started thinking weird to them. And it was just like, I'm sorry, that this happened. My condolences for your family and everything, And he was just like, from that point off, he would throw it the fuck out. Like he wasn't even looking at them no more. He was just like, how can I fix this? Like, and they just staring at him like, are you okay? And he's like, off. Like his mind is running a million miles a minute, and he's just trying to figure out a way to like save them, save their souls. Like they're trapped there. And you saw them. I knew I saw him that time. Like he saw his wife there. He said he saw his wife there after they passed or whatever. He went out there to talk to them because he felt like their souls, their spirits was out there. So he went out there to have a conversation with them, and he said he saw her in the fucking raft with the baby. Same way April saw him saw her in the raft with the baby. So he was just like, trying to figure this shit out. April and them was just like, okay, babe, I'm uncomfortable. He's not talking to us. He's rocking. She's just like, I don't feel comfortable no more. So April's husband looked down at the dude. He was like, hey, well, we finna go ahead and leave, and we'll talk to you later. And then the guy reached out and grabbed Abraham, and he was like, you gotta tell me more. You gotta tell me more. And she's like, there's nothing more to tell you. Like, what more am I supposed to tell you? And now her husband like, hey, you're crossing the line. Don't touch her again, And the guy was just like, tell me more, tell me more. And she just like, babe, we gotta go. And they left and came home, and she was freaked out. She was just like, why was that dude acting like that? And her husband was basically like, he chopped it up like grief. Like maybe he ain't let go. Maybe he's just still trying to process and deal with it. And, April was like, that was her last time even going back after that situation. The guy who wife it was eventually like just stopped coming to work. Like her husband didn't understand, if he quit officially, but the word was that he just stopped showing up. The job, because April's husband told the job how he acted that night, they decided to call the police and have a welfare check done on the man. They said the man was alive and everything. He was just really, really intoxicated, but eventually he just didn't come back to work again, and they never heard from the guy again. But her whole day, it just kicked off on some bullshit. From the jump. From the jump, it kicked off with some bullshit, and she thought she was tripping, and everybody was making fun of her, like people at his job. The women that were in the bathroom that saw her had ran back and spread it all, like telling everybody, like, yep, that bitch is Fruit Loop. She accused everybody in the bathroom of jumping in the stall, screaming at her. So by the time she got out, the word had traveled around half the goddamn job by the time she got to her husband. So when she got to her husband to tell him what was going on, she's getting these looks. You know what I'm saying? So she had already went through all that, and then to go out there and jump into this water, get pulled, all this crazy shit, to find out the woman she had been looking for the whole day had been dead for 2 years. And she died at Lake Lanier. So she said she never went back. She's never going back because that was too wild for her. She said it was too much for her. Shan, the niece, didn't even feel comfortable coming around because she really thought that the lady had kicked the bucket. You know what I'm saying? She thought the lady was crazy. So she didn't even feel comfortable going over their house no more. When the uncle would come over with April, Shan would disappear. She'll like go in another room. Like she didn't want to be around April. Like April said she felt like that whole day just ruined the relationship that she could have had with Shan. It kind of like put a strain on a relationship with her husband because he didn't believe her. And this is the person that you should be able to go to. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he could have fixed all that doubt with his niece, but I guess he wasn't willing to put in the work at that time. He was just trying to save face at his job because he going to work having to deal with the shit too. You know what I'm saying? So Maybe deep down he was upset that she did see all this shit and came out in front of his job and said all of this. So her husband, you know, their relationship suffered. Her relationship with his niece suffered. His relationship with his niece suffered. So, and then the guy that did, you know, who wife and daughter did die, he didn't show back up to work. So I'm pretty sure he was drowning all his grief in alcohol. So he probably got cirrhosis of the liver and just kicked the fucking bucket. So she was like, that was like the worst day of her life. And she said that day was the kickoff of fucking up bonds and shit that she relationship with people that she wanted to have. So she said when it comes to her opinion of Lake Lanier, that shit is cursed. She said because it fucked up everything in her life that it could have possibly touched. All because she went out there and chased a ghost from 2 years that died 2 years ago with her baby. So April don't go no more. Her husband is taking couples therapy because she feel like it's some mistrust in the relationship. The fact that he didn't believe her when she came to him and told him. So everybody's relationship, pretty much. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He basically just left her to deal with that on her own. And when she came to him, he could have handled it different, but he didn't. Because he was trying to save face with his job. So she felt like he left her out in the rain all by herself. And that she had kind of lost trust in him. So they're taking couple therapy. So that's what happened to them, y'all. That's the creepy ass fan story of the night. Any questions? This shit crazy. Huh? They said, April, her husband said he just stopped coming to work. Once the police went out there and did a wellness check, because, you know, because that shit happened on job property, the job was obligated to do a welfare check to make sure he was okay. But after that first welfare check and he was good, the job ass was covered at that point. So if he decided to do anything after that, the job did their due diligence by checking on his ass. So they did that one welfare check and they were done. He never did come back to work. What you doing, babe? So that was April, Shan, and her husband's story. But I've told people you can go out there and see ghosts, not even know you see ghosts. April had to find it out the hard way. And now she don't go back. Her job, her husband's job, oh man, I ain't think about that. Maybe he just decided not to come back to work because it was too much. But after telling the job that he reached out and grabbed April and acted like that, you know what I'm saying, at the restaurant. The job pretty much done anyway. He's seen how word traveled about April, about his co-worker's wife. He's seen how fast that shit got around. So he knew in his situation he probably gonna do the same thing. When he come to work, he come to stairs, he crazy. He grabbed that lady. He did this, that, and the third, and so he was done. And April said every year her husband's job still throws that job picnic out there. She said every year her husband still goes and takes Shan, but she don't attend. So
Be quiet, man.
there you go. So the husband still goes every year, which is probably why they get couples therapy because she feel like he really don't fucking believe her. He's still going to this shit. So yeah. Right. And that's what I was saying. You don't have to go into the water to be fucked with. Yep, he was trying to save face. Like that's what I was saying. You can go to Lake Lanier and talk to ghosts and not even realize you talked to a ghost. Like you can talk to a whole fucking ghost and not even realize you talked to a ghost. You can walk up on a motherfucker and be like, how do I get to the beach area of Lake Lanier? And they'll be like, you go this way and that way and this way, and then you can walk past them, be like, thank you, and walk past them like, oh shit, and you turn around, look back, ain't nobody fucking standing there. This person didn't have time to run off where you couldn't see them. That type of shit happens. So yeah, you ain't gotta be in the water to be affected. Still creepy shit happens. Still. So I love that y'all sing. That should be on point. So that's y'all creepy story. That TikTok tricked y'all out of last night on they bullshit. So, yeah. No, you stand no. You stand across the street and you get some binoculars and you watch from a distance. Cause the first time you set foot on them grounds, your ass is fair game. You woke up and chose death that morning. That's all that means. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I do appreciate you guys coming and catching my story time. I will be doing another story time on, what's today, Sunday? On Tuesday. I will be doing another story time on Tuesday. No, I didn't. But I did go to look up the report at the police station. Because I said they had came to my house, so I did a report. And they were saying like it wasn't like no official report. He just basically said that the neighborhood kids were running around playing knock knock zoom on everybody's houses. And that's what happened. By the time they got there were no kids in sight. But the neighbors said that there were kids there playing knock knock zoom, and that was the report. You are so welcome, Misty. Told you they ass won't get in there and be like, he vanished, he outran me and vanished. I told you. Neighborhood kids is running around playing knock knock zoom. We have several reports of neighbors reporting kids playing knock knock zoom on people's doors. When we got to the scene, there were no kids, but the neighbors reported it, so we just went on and wrote it down. I think I would have went that route too. I think I would have went that same route too. Right, because I'm not even supposed to be talking about them, but right. I mean, who gonna question him? Who gonna check him, boo? His sergeant, who gonna check him, boo? Nobody gonna take his word for it, and let that be the fucking reason. So, to me, it sounds better coming out of his mouth than mine, cause they the damn sure checked me. So it sounds way better coming out of his fucking mouth than mine. I don't give a fuck what he told them. As long as he didn't involve my ass in that shit, I was good to go. Cause I had already let him know at the door. First time you put my name in that report talking about I seen some shit, I witnessed anything. If I go down, I'm like Nino Brown. If I go down, I'm taking a whole lot of motherfucker with me. I'm going, you, your fat ass Mr. Matt Greedy, we all going down together. Yeah, we all seen that shit. We all did, yes, we going down together. Right. So it sounded way better coming out of his mouth. I think that's how God intended it to come out. So, yes. Thank you guys for joining me on my live. I love you guys so much. I miss you guys. And whenever I'm able to get off punishment on TikTok, I'll make a video. Cause y'all, I'm gonna make a video. That shit gonna be hilarious, but I'm gonna try to do it so serious, y'all. Cause like I told y'all, I'm on punishment. Um, Thank you. Yes. So if you follow me on TikTok, then y'all heard my Lola story, right? My Lola and Bam story. If you follow me on TikTok, you heard the story that I put down my dog and his baby mama. Yeah. I think Lola reported me to TikTok, y'all. I think that's why I'm banned. That's why I think Lola reported me. I think that bitch secretly worked for TikTok and she reported me. And that's why my shit got banned. Because I didn't give everybody a chance to hear her side of the story. So, yeah. It got reported for bullying. So, Lola reported me for bullying on TikTok because I didn't let her get her side of the story or let her puppies talk. So I didn't let the puppy say, yeah, bam, my dad. So she reported me on TikTok. And that's why I'm on punishment right now. I know it sounds funny. I'm so serious, though. I don't know if Lola reported me, but that's what I'm going with. Lola reported me. Right. Lola reported me at a bitches on TikTok punishment. But I'm telling y'all, man, that bitch, she was mad. She was mad. I think she seen my TikTok and she was mad about that shit because she was standing out in front of my door the other night just barking. I think that bitch ran across my TikTok and seen that shit. And then all of a sudden, when I got ready to do this story last night, I couldn't post. I was reported for bullying. I'm like, God damn it, Lola. She had already told me she was going to see about my ass for making them TikToks. I didn't think she was going to come back like that, but I guess. Anyway. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys a little later. See you guys on Tuesday on YouTube where I do another story. So stay safe, stay positive, and I love y'all. Bye.